History tells us civilization began around 3000 BC. The Sumerians, the Egyptians, the Indus Valley. Before that, we are told, humans were simple, nomadic, primitive, scattered tribes learning to farm. But what if that date, 3000 BC, marks only the beginning of recorded history, not the beginning of civilization itself? Human beings have existed for nearly 300,000 years. Recorded history, only about 5,000. That leaves nearly 295,000 years of silence. And silence does not mean emptiness. It only means we do not know. What if, long before the first written word, there were cities, knowledge, structures built with intention? What if civilization did not begin once, but more than once? According to modern archaeology, civilization followed a clear path: hunter-gatherers, then agriculture, then permanent settlements, then cities, then writing. A gradual progression, logical, structured. But this model assumes something critical that we have discovered earlier. The absence of evidence means the absence of complexity. Yet our understanding of prehistory is based on fragments, bones, stone tools, buried foundations. What survives is what we build our conclusions upon. But survival is rare, especially over thousands of years, especially through the climate catastrophe, especially near coastlines. And that is where the mystery begins. In southeastern Turkey stands a site that quietly disrupted everything: Göbekli Tepe, dated to around 9,600 BC, nearly 11,000 years ago. Massive T-shaped pillars weighing up to 20 tons, intricate carvings of animals, geometric precision, carefully arranged enclosures. And here is the anomaly: it predates agriculture. According to conventional theory, farming allowed humans to settle. Settling allowed surplus. Surplus allowed specialization. Specialization allowed monuments. But Göbekli Tepe suggests something else. It suggests that organized labor existed before farming, which raises a question. How did hunter-gatherers coordinate the construction of monumental architecture? And why? Even more intriguing, the site appears to have been intentionally buried, carefully covered by the very people who built it. Why bury a masterpiece? Why conceal a monument? Was it a ritual? Was it preservation? Or was it protection? If Göbekli Tepe was built by hunter-gatherers, then our understanding of early society changes, because organizing hundreds of people requires structure. It requires planning, division of labor, leadership, shared belief systems. These are not traits of scattered survival bands. They are traits of organized communities. And Göbekli Tepe is not small. It is monumental. The stones were quarried, transported, carved, positioned with intention. This required time and coordination, which raises another question: what supported the workers? If they were not farmers, who fed them? Was there an earlier form of food storage, trade networks, seasonal gathering events? The site suggests ritual, but ritual requires shared ideology. And ideology requires communication. Perhaps language itself was more advanced than we assume. Not all archaeologists agree on radical interpretations. Some argue Göbekli Tepe represents ritual gatherings only, not a city, not a civilization. But even ritual sites require organization. Even temporary construction requires hierarchy. And more importantly, Göbekli Tepe is unlikely to be unique. It is simply the oldest one we have found so far. Archaeology depends on excavation, and excavation depends on funding. Large portions of the site remain buried. Only a small percentage has been uncovered, which means we may not yet understand its full scope. Around 12,800 years ago, something dramatic occurred, a sudden return to near glacial conditions. Temperatures dropped rapidly, in some regions within decades. This period is known as the Younger Dryas. Ice core samples show an abrupt climate reversal. Pollen records reveal ecosystems collapsing. Large mammals disappeared. Entire environments changed faster than societies could adapt. Some researchers propose that fragments of a comet may have struck or exploded over parts of the Earth. The hypothesis remains debated, but the disruption itself is not. The world became colder, drier, more unstable. If organized human communities existed at that time, they would have faced enormous pressure, migration, food scarcity, environmental shock, and when the climate warmed again, melting ice sheets caused a massive sea level rise. Coastlines flooded, lowlands vanished. Any settlements built near ancient shores would now lie underwater. At the end of the Ice Age, sea levels rose more than 100 meters. Entire landscapes disappeared beneath the ocean. Ancient river valleys became seabeds. Human populations have always preferred access to water, rivers, harbors, coastal plains. If early complex settlements existed, they would likely have been built there, and today, those places are submerged. We have explored only a small percentage of the ocean floor. Underwater archaeology is still developing. Off the coast of Japan lies the Yonaguni Formation, massive stone terraces beneath the sea. Some argue it is natural geology. Others suggest human modification. Near India, underwater structures off modern Dwarka hint at submerged habitation. These findings are not proof of a lost civilization, but they remind us our map of the ancient world is incomplete. Across cultures, stories appear that sound strangely familiar. Accounts of a great flood, a collapse, a world reset. Mesopotamian tablets describe waters covering the land. Biblical tradition tells of Noah. Hindu texts speak of Manu surviving rising seas. Mesoamerican traditions recount earlier worlds destroyed. These cultures did not share languages, they did not share geography, yet they preserved similar themes. Myths are not scientific records, but they can carry echoes of real experiences, passed down orally, reshaped over generations. Stories can survive where structures cannot. Ancient civilizations observed the sky with extraordinary precision. They tracked solstices, equinoxes, planetary cycles. Monuments across the world align with celestial events. The Great Pyramid of Giza aligns closely with true north. Without compasses, without satellites, only observation, patience, and accumulated knowledge. Such understanding does not appear instantly. It develops over time, and sometimes it may be inherited. Civilizations often build upon what came before, even if they no longer remember the source. Mainstream archaeology approaches these ideas cautiously, and for good reason. There is no definitive evidence of a technologically advanced Ice Age civilization. No machines, no industrial remains, no metals out of place in time. Extraordinary claims demand strong evidence, but complexity does not require technology. A society can be socially organized, architecturally capable, astronomically aware, without resembling the modern world. The question is not whether a futuristic civilization existed, but whether prehistoric humanity may have been more capable than we assume. History shows that societies do not always progress steadily forward. They rise, they fragment, they rebuild. The Roman Empire engineered roads and concrete still studied today. After its decline, some techniques were lost for centuries. Knowledge can vanish, not because it was impossible, but because continuity was broken. if this can happen within recorded history, it could have happened even more completely before writing existed. Civilization may not be a straight line. It may be a pattern. Growth, loss, renewal. Did an advanced civilization exist before recorded history? We do not know, but the past is not a finished story. New discoveries continue to reshape our understanding. Buried sites, submerged landscapes, unexpected alignments. History evolves with evidence, and much of the ancient world remains unexplored. Perhaps civilization did not begin only once. Perhaps what we call the dawn of history is simply the most recent beginning, and beneath layers of time, there may still be chapters waiting to be uncovered.